I want to tell you a story about Maeve. She's driven, courageous, and has a tangible aura of power and strength about her. She's one of those women that walks into a room and her presence is felt immediately. She has a mystical aura about her, along with a strong need for independence. Maeve is charismatic, and for some, it may be easy to misinterpret that the presence felt is because of her beauty and charm. But that isn't what it's really about. What you need to know about Maeve is that she's a woman on a mission. So an unsuspecting admirer who tries hitting on her because she's hot hasn't got a hope. Maeve is someone with purpose, ambition, a higher cause. She sets high standards for self and others in her sphere of influence. This alone may cause some to think she's tough and unfailing. In relationships, Maeve at her best is loyal, caring, playful, truthful, and supportive. At her worst, she can be demanding, arrogant, uncompromising, possessive, and quick to find fault. You see, Maeve has a calling. She wants to serve, and she's found a way to do just that. Although that doesn't mean that it's easy, because the world isn't the way she wants it to be. So sometimes she gets hurt. Things don't always work out. And she can become disillusioned with the reality of the world and with self. So how does it happen? The realization comes first with the vision, the fantasy, and letting your imagination take you to new realms. And what if this is true? What then? Maeve can seem guarded and not always express her feelings openly. And this you can sense in the choices she makes. When things are going well, she keeps herself busy with many projects and surprisingly finds the energy for them all. And that's because she's driven by the vision of something better. And it's not always easy living up to a vision. The people you meet and situations in life you find yourself in don't always match your expectations of the world, of how it should be. If you were to cross her path and can't match that kind of drive, she can come across pretty harsh, like you've missed something that's blindingly obvious. On the other hand, she has an amazingly sharp sensory acuity and can sense when someone is in a corner. It's then her intuition triggers a protector in her. And when she sees you're willing to take responsibility in a situation, eager to create change by taking action, but perhaps unsure of what will make the difference, she'll go the extraordinary lengths to help. When she gets the balance right, Maeve is a force of nature, a people magnet, someone who people are drawn to and want to follow, someone who can take people forward, someone who shapes the world. And if she can learn to pace herself, listen, and to accept where other people are at, realize that vulnerability is another kind of strength. If she can do all that, then she can really start to create perfect ripples. I've seen those ripples. It's like going into your imagination. You're sitting on a bank by the lake, contemplating. You pick up a pebble, throwing it into the water, and notice how the ripples spread right across the lake. And as you watch intently, you realize there are so many other sources of movement on the surface too. A seabird swoops down and lightly touches the surface as it catches a bug. A light breeze comes up and creates more ripples. All these ripples interact and cause complex patterns on the surface of the water. This experience begins to give you insight. These ripples embody the reality of life. We make ripples and create the future in every moment. In fact, these ripples define a universal law that predicts your future. Predicts. Yes, that's right. And it's Maeve that creates these ripples inside self and in the lives of those whose life she touches. But that's what it's like when you take back your personal power, discover your passion in life, and live with purpose. Although sometimes it can seem that you have had all of that, and yet it's not enough. Have you ever felt that way? All of us can come from a point where we feel stuck and just can't seem to move forward anymore. At times it seems we take one step forward and 2 steps back. Well, that's how it feels anyway. But how things feel in those moments are misleading. We each have our own map of the world based on our values, beliefs, and attitudes. It takes a lot to maintain our understanding of the outside world, and we put a lot of effort and time and energy into keeping it just that way. Telling ourselves the stories of our victories and our defeats, how we'd have done better, if only. And you know what? She soon realized there is more to life. There is life among the ruins. For us to really get where we're going, we need to do some deep sea diving and truly look at our world. If we can change the way we communicate with ourselves, there is nothing stopping us having the life we want and so deserve. So what makes someone a hero in their life? Well, it's when they can overcome their fears and previous perceptions. Someone who creates a new reality, change the way they feel about that old stuff. And that takes going inside, beneath the stories, the blame, the excuses, to something more fundamental. Diving into the water, into a realm of falling debris, dead and dying fish-eating creatures, into the pitch-black frigid waters. And so down among the deep water canyons she went and saw hanging there a hanging flounder, a self never before seen, but one who always remained unchanged. You've heard about the long dark night of the soul. Some people call it that, or the abyss. Sounds dramatic, yeah? But that's not a patch on the experience itself, is it? And that's what happened to Maeve. She took up the challenge, her ideas mocked. Everything she'd done, proof that she had been on the wrong path, but no longer. It was now behind her because her mirror reflection had changed. And in that mirror, Maeve saw that she had been her greatest obstacle, that acting on reflections of her perceived map of the world was not the world itself. It was the wrong idea, the wrong world, a world she created because of her past negative and limiting beliefs, her past holding her back. And that was the reality she created. She also realized that by dismissing people for not living up to her high standards, she's failing to learn from the richness and variety of others' experiences. That by driving herself so hard in pursuit of goals, she'd become something other than the whole person she aspired to be. So that's Maeve's story. And it's your story too, and mine. We may not be exactly like Maeve in every aspect, but something that's true for us all is the need to get out of our own way. And if you've got a Maeve in your life, maybe you can lighten up and stop being so fixated on changing things. Others wanting you to be someone, something other than the person you are. So just give it what it needs. Learning to master your emotions, perceptions, and internal processing is all part of the learning available to you at the upcoming Personal Power, Passion and Purpose event. It's about self-development in its highest form, exploring a whole new power at a different dimension. It's taking a look at your own hardwiring and reconnecting any loose elements so that everything functions like a new Swiss watch. And you'll learn how archetypes and the Enneagram represent the different ways we think, act, and understand in our world. If you're interested in learning more about personal power, passion, and purpose, come along to our one-day event. Contact me, Evelyn, direct on 0418 403 227 or Evelyn at dashboardoflife.com.au. See you next time.